Today we are going to solve practice set 2.1 of chapter 2 parallel lines. But before we start practice set 2.1, let me revise the properties that you need to know to solve this exercise. Like the three main properties that you need to remember to solve this exercise are: the first one, the interior angles theorem. What this interior angles theorem says is, see, we all are aware of interior angles. Interior means inside. So when I'm having two parallel lines and a transversal which is intersecting these two lines, then in that case interior angles, the addition of interior angles is going to be 180 degree. They are supplementary. What do I mean by that? See, if these are the parallel lines and if this is a transversal, then A and B, these are the two angles on the inner side, are on the inner side of the right hand side of the transversal. So we will say that A and B, A plus B will be 180 degrees. In this case, A plus B will be 180 degrees. Whereas on the left hand side, C plus D is going to be 180 degree. This is what our interior angle says, that if there are two parallel lines and a transversal, then the addition of two interior angles on one side will be equal to 180 degrees, and the addition of two interior angles on the other side will also be 180 degrees. Okay. Then the next one is corresponding angles. When I'm talking about corresponding angles, we all are aware of corresponding angles. These two lines are parallel and this is a transversal. So in this case, I will say that angle A is congruent to angle B. Here we are not talking about addition. If you look here, they were not congruent, they were supplementary, whereas here we will see that the pair of angles are equal, means A is going to be equal to B. Similarly, C will be equal to D. If I name the other angles also, for example, I have this as E, then E is going to be equal to F. E will be equal to F. And the last pair, which will be, suppose this G is going to be equal to H. So these are the various pairs which are going to be congruent to each other. So in interior angles, they are supplementary. Addition of two angles is 180 degree, whereas in corresponding angles, the corresponding angles are equal. Then the last property that we studied was alternate angle theorem. Alternate angles means that when we are talking about two different angles, like for example, here we have two parallel lines and a transversal. On the inner side, in the right hand side we have angle A, whereas on the left hand side here we have the angle B. We will consider angle A and angle B as alternate angles, and according to alternate angle theorem, means that A will be equal to B, alternate. Similarly, there will be one angle here, say C, and one angle here which will be D. So in this case, C is going to be equal to D. So this is what our interior angle theorem says. The only addition that we find is in the interior angles theorem. So if you know these three properties, we can easily solve practice set 2.1. So let us start with it. Let us read first question. The first question says line RP is parallel to line MS. So RP is parallel to MS and DK is the transversal. This angle DHP is 85 degrees. Find the measure of the following angles. So we have been asked to find the measure of the four angles in this question. So how are we going to start? Let us look at the first angle, angle RHD. Let us check where does it lie. It lies here, this one, angle RHD. So this is where the angle lies. Now I want to find out the angle RHD. How will I do that, children? If you look, this looks like this. There is a line RP and then there is this, right? Can you say that these two angles are linear pair? Yes, because the addition of both these angles are adjacent to each other, and the addition of these two angles is 180 degrees. It's a straight line. So such pairs are called as linear pairs, which you all have already studied in 8th standard, right? So I will say, first, number one, I will say that angle DHP plus angle angle RHD, plus angle DHP, is equal to 180 degrees. Yes, because we have to write down the reason. The reason is it is a linear pair. Right? But we all know that RHD we are supposed to find out, so we will write down it as it is, RHD plus DHP is given to us, which is 85, is equal to 180 degrees. So we just have to shift 85 on the other side and we'll automatically get our answer. Therefore, we'll say that angle RHD is equal to 180. This plus 85 goes here, becomes minus 85. So when you subtract this, RHD is going to be equal to 95 degrees. It will be 95 degrees. So this is our first solution. Now second one. Let us check which angle are they talking about. So now angle PHG. Let us check where is angle PHG. So in this figure, angle PHG lies here. Yes, angle PHG lies here. So now how will I find out? See, we just now found out angle RHD, yes, which is 95 degrees. So this angle and this angle, can I say they are vertically opposite angles? When two lines intersect, these are the two lines. When the two lines intersect each other, if you don't understand, intersect means cross each other, okay, or they meet at one point. So in that case, the opposite angles are always equal to each other, and that property is vertically opposite angles. Similarly, this angle is going to be equal to this. So we'll apply this logic here and we will say that angle RHD is equal to angle PHG. The reason will be vertically opposite angles. So let us write that. So I'll say angle RHD is congruent. This is a symbol for congruency. Is congruent to angle PHG. Reason, vertically opposite angles. Then in the next step, we know that angle RHD is 95 degrees. So we will say angle RHD is equal to 90 degrees. Therefore, angle PMG is also equal to 90 degrees. So this is our second solution. Now let us check the third one. In the third one, we have HGS to find out. Now how do I get this HGS? This HDS is here, HGS. So I am supposed to find out angle HGS. See, we can use here corresponding angles. Yes, we can also use the property of interior angles. In the addition of these two angles is 180 degrees. So you can find this by two methods. We'll take the easier one. We'll say that angle DHP is congruent to angle HGS because they are corresponding angles. So I write down angle DHP is congruent to angle HGS. Reason being they are corresponding angles. Okay, so now since DHP is congruent, the next step I write down that DHP is equal to, it's the same thing, but here I have written congruent, so here I write down equal to HGS. Therefore, I'll say that angle DHP is given as 85 degrees. So automatically, instead of DHP, I'll write down 85 degrees is equal to angle HGS. Therefore, angle HGS is equal to 85 degrees. And the last one, let us solve the last one. Next angle is angle MGK. MGK angle lies here. Yes, I want to find out the measure of angle MGK. You can see this angle MGK is opposite to angle this HGS. So I will say that angle MGK is congruent to angle HGS. Reason is vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angle, and therefore, and in the next step I'll say angle MGK is equal to angle HGS. This is the same thing, but instead of congruency now I am showing equal to sign. But we know that HGS, see now MGK I'll write as it is, but what is angle HGS? HGS is 85 degrees. So I'll say it is 85 degrees. So this is my final answer. So at the end I'll find out all the four. I found out all the four answers. RHD is 95, PHG. I'm so sorry. PHG is PHG is 90 degrees, HGS is 85, and MGK is also 85. In the second question, we have line P parallel to line Q. Look here, this line P is parallel to line Q, and L and M are transversal. These two lines are the transversal. Do not get confused between L and M being parallel. No children, P and Q are parallel to each other, whereas these are the transversals. So when you're going to find out the measures of angle A, B, C and D, we have to properly remember these properties. Okay, these given information. Now, we have been asked to find out the measures of angle A, B, C and D. Let us see how can we do that. Now the first part, when I am told to find out the measure of angle A, as we can see, this and these two angles are adjacent to each other. Yes, and also they form a straight line. The addition of these two angles form a straight line, and therefore I will say that angle A plus angle 110, whatever it is equal to 180 degrees because it is a linear pair. Yes, so I'll just write down that. I'll say angle A plus 110 degrees is equal to 180 degrees, linear pair. So when I'll shift this here, angle A is equal to 180 degrees minus 110. So angle A is going to be equal to 70 degrees. So I have got my angle A here. Okay. Now angle B. Just look at angle B, children. There is no information given. There is no measure of any angle given beside this angle B. Also, there is no angle given opposite to angle B, so that I can show vertically opposite. Nothing like that. Now you may think that angle B and angle D is equal. No, angle B and D cannot be equal, children. They are not corresponding angles because L and M are not the parallel lines. Parallel lines are these. The angles will formed on the parallel lines. The angles cannot be formed on the transversal. So therefore, we cannot say that angle B is congruent to angle D. So how are we going to solve? Because we cannot use interior angle theorem, we cannot use corresponding angle theorem, we cannot use alternate angle theorem. So what are we going to do? So for solving purpose, we are going to say, let this angle opposite to this be angle Z. I'll say that let this angle be angle Z. And then what I'll do is, I'll show that Z plus 110 is equal to 180. Angle Z is congruent to angle A. That I will show because these are the parallel lines and these two angles are being formed on the parallel line. So I can show that these two are the corresponding angles. So therefore I can say that if A is 70, this will also be 70 because these are the corresponding angles and formed on the parallel lines. And then once I get this angle Z is going to be equal to angle B because it is vertically opposite angle. So in this way we will get our angle B. So I'll just solve the second part here. So we'll say, consider angle Z as shown in figure, and then we say that angle A is congruent to angle Z. The reason will be that line P is parallel to line Q and M and N are transversals, and therefore these two angles are the corresponding angles. Okay, you can show this in the next step. Now if angle A is 70 degrees, so instead of angle A I'll write down 70 degrees here is equal to angle Z. Therefore angle Z is equal to 70 degrees. But we have not been asked to find out angle Z. This is not our answer. We have to find out angle B. So therefore the next step I will say that angle B is congruent to angle Z because they are vertically opposite angles. Okay, and therefore I will say angle B is equal to angle Z, and therefore that is equal to, see, angle B is what? Z is 70 degrees. So instead of Z I will write down 70 degrees. So I got angle A which is 70 degrees. I got angle B which is 70 degrees again. Okay. Now let us proceed further and find out the angle C. Let us do that. Now to get the angle C, it's very easy, children. Angle C, for angle C you can say that this angle C is equal to this angle. Yes, because it is a corresponding angle. Why is it corresponding, children? Because these two lines are parallel, and therefore angle C can be equal to angle 115, right? So we can directly show that, which is very easy. So I'll write down third part. Angle C is equal to, before that I need to tell that line P is parallel to line Q, and M and N are transversals. Therefore angle C is equal angle C is equal to 115, and the reason will be corresponding angles. And lastly we have to find out angle D. To find out angle D, we will find angle D. If you see, it is adjacent to 115, so we can say that that is a linear pair. Yes, children, and therefore I will say that in the fourth part, that angle 115 plus angle D is equal to 180 degrees. Linear pair. Angles in linear pair or linear pair, both will do. So angle D is equal to 180 degrees minus 115. So when you calculate this, you will get answer as 65 degrees. So at the end, we will write down angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D. We'll write down the measure of all the four angles. So angle A will be 70 degrees, angle B also will be 70 degrees, angle C was 115 degrees, and angle D was 65 degrees. So this is your answer. In the next part, we have been given that line L is parallel to line M. Line L is parallel to line M, and N is parallel to P. So N is parallel to P. So these two lines are parallel, these two lines are parallel. So there is no problem here. We can use corresponding angles, vertically opposite angles, linear pair, in whatever manner we want. Right now, we have been told to find out measure of angle A, B and C. But how are we going to do that? Only one angle has been given to us, which is angle 45. Now, if I want to find out angle A, I cannot say that angle A is equal to angle this 45 degree. Why? Because they are not related to each other in any way. Yes. So So what I do is, if I need to find out angle A or something, what I'll consider any angle. Say I'll consider angle D. I'll consider angle D here. ABC is given, I'll consider angle D. And I will see that this 45 degrees is equal to angle D. Once I get this angle D, I can show this linear pair, or this also linear pair. I can show them vertically opposite, and once I get this, I will get angle C also. So basically, if I'll consider angle D here, I'll say So I'll say consider angle D as shown in the figure. So I'll write down that. I'll say consider angle D as shown in figure. After doing that, I can find out any pair of angles. Like for example, if I want to find out angle A. So if I want to find out angle A, first I'll show that these two angles are equal. So I'll say that line L is parallel to line M. If these two lines are parallel, and when I'm solving this part, then I'll say line P is the transversal and line P is the transversal. I'm not using this, so I'm not mentioning angle in line C here. Only line P I'm mentioning here. Okay, so line L is parallel to line M, and angle line P is a transversal. Therefore, 45 degrees is equal to angle D, because they both are the corresponding angles. Therefore, we'll say 45 degrees is equal to D. Reason will be corresponding angles, which can also be rearranged as D. Angle D is equal to 45 degrees. So we got angle D, but we have not been told to find out angle E. We have to find out angle ABC. So we'll try to relate this angle D with A, B and C. So first step I can do is, I can find out the linear pair here, right? So I'll say that angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degrees. Linear pair. Once I do that, I'll substitute the value of D here. Angle A plus 45 degrees is equal to angle D. Angle A plus 45 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, angle A is equal to 180 degrees minus 45. So it becomes angle A is equal to 180 degrees minus 45, which is 135. The next part, I need to find out angle B. Now, if I need to find out angle B, let us see how is B related to D or A. See, if I say A and B are vertically opposite angles. Yes, and therefore I'll say that in the second for finding angle B, I'll say angle B is congruent to angle A. Reason will be vertically opposite angles. So since B is equal to A, I will say therefore angle B is equal to angle A in the next step, and then angle B is equal to A is what? 135. So in place of angle A, I will write down 135 degrees. So I got angle A, which is 135. I got angle B, which is also 135. Now let us find angle C. Can I say angle B and angle C are equal to each other? They are the corresponding angles, right? But before we write that, we have to mention why are we saying them as corresponding angles. So you have to show that which line is parallel to which line and which is the transversal. And after writing that only, we can say that angle B is congruent to angle C. And therefore, I'll write down angle, I'll first write down that if I have to show these two lines, these two angles congruent, then I'll have to say that angle N and angle P are, line P, N and P are parallel to each other. So line N is parallel to line P, and since they are lying on this transversal, we'll say line M is the transversal. Therefore we'll say angle C is equal to angle B, or you can say equal or congruent. Both are correct. Okay, congruent because they are corresponding angles. And therefore I'll say that angle C is equal to angle B. Since angle B is equal to 135 degrees, I'll say angle C is equal to 135 degrees. So we have got all the three angles here. Yes. Now next one, fourth sum. Then fourth question, we have been told that sides of angle PQR and XYZ are parallel to each other. What does this mean? Sides of angle PQR, there are two sides for angle PQR. This is PQ is one side, QR is other side. Similarly for angle XYZ, XY is one side, YZ is another side. So they are saying that these are parallel to each other, which means that PQ is parallel to XY and YZ is parallel to QR. Prove that angle PQR is congruent to angle XYZ. We have to prove this angle is congruent to this angle. So these two angles we have to prove congruent. So we will be using whatever we have studied till now. But if you see here, there is no information given to you apart from that they are parallel to each other. So when we cannot solve anything using the given information, we do some kind of constructions in our figure and we try to change it. So the construction that I am going to do here is, I am going to extend this ray. This is a ray. Yes, ray is like this. This is a ray. XY. I am going to extend this ray. XY. I am going to extend this and it will intersect. I am going to intersect and this ray is going to intersect this QR at point M. It will intersect here. And now we will use this property of parallel lines and we'll try to prove it. Okay. Now whatever construction I've made, I've written it on the board. I say that whenever we do a construction we have to write down it in words. So I've said that let ray XY meet ray QR or intersect ray QR at point M. Okay, such that XYM means what? Y, this they are in a list, or they are the collinear points. Y is in between X and M, and similarly M is in between Q and R. So that is what is the meaning of this sentence. Now we'll try to prove. We'll try to use the knowledge that we have studied. The first part, I'll try to say that YZ is parallel to QR. Yes, we all know that YZ is parallel to QR. So let me write that. I'll say ray YZ is parallel to ray QR given. After writing this, I am supposed to find out a transversal. Do I have a transversal here, children? See, if I'm talking about YZ, it is like this, and QR is like this. This is YZ and this is QR. Is there any transversal which you can see? Can we see something like this? Here, this line. And if I am getting that line, can I say that these two angles will be congruent using the corresponding angles test? Yes, and therefore I'll say that this angle, if I use it, this angle is going to be congruent to this angle because these two lines are parallel and this is a transversal. So using this, I am going to say that ray YZ is parallel to ray QR and line, this is a line, this is not a ray, this is having arrow at two ends. Line XM is a transversal. You can say and then we'll say therefore angle XYZ is congruent to angle YMR or XMR. Both way it is correct. Okay. So I'll write down therefore this congruent to angle YMR. YMR. Reason will be corresponding angles. So on the next line, we can number this as 1 also. We'll number this as 1. This will be a 1. Then second. Let me see another pair of ray which are parallel to each other. Now I showed this. Now I'll use these two. So I can say that PQ is parallel to XY. So that will be the next one. See here, this was the first one, and now second one I've shown. Ray PQ is parallel to ray XY, or you can say XM also. Both are correct. Okay. Now, after doing this, you can this XY or XM. Now, if I write down XM here, do I need to? Where is my transversal? See, these two lines are parallel. So, see like this it is. These two lines are parallel. And transversal, can I consider YZ as transversal? No, because YZ is here. It is not intersecting this line, and therefore YZ is not going to be a transversal. But this QR can be a transversal because this is intersecting both the lines, parallel lines. So these two angles are going to be equal. So according to that knowledge, this angle and this angle is going to be equal to each other. The reason will be corresponding angles. So that the other pair I write down, and the transversal will be QR. QR is a transversal. Therefore, according to this, we will say therefore angle PQR is congruent to angle PQR is congruent to angle XMR. XMR. This is also reason the corresponding angles. Okay. Now, X and R, this X and R can also be written as Y and R. That's the same angle. Why I am doing that? So that I can find some relation here. See children, there is an angle XY which is congruent to YMR. But YMR is also congruent to PQR. That means these three angles are congruent to each other. Because if this is 90 degrees, this will also be 90 degrees. And if this is 90 degrees, this will be 90 degrees. And therefore, this will also be 90 degrees. So, according to that, we will say that all these three angles are congruent to each other. Right? So, using this, I'll number this as 2. But even though these three angles are congruent to each other, we don't need YMR right now. If we say that what we are supposed to prove PQR and XYZ, and if this right hand side is equal, automatically I can say the left hand side of this is also equal. So therefore I'll say from 1 and 2. Yes, the right hand side is having YMR. So if right hand side is equal, left hand side becomes equal, which is angle XYZ congruent to angle PQR. In the last sum, we have to find out 4 angles. It's been given to you that line AB is parallel to line CD and PQ is the transversal. This is already given in the question. We have to find out the measure of the 4 angles. So how do I do this? See, ART is the first angle. If I want to find out the measure of angle ART, can you say that it is a linear pair? This is a linear pair to this. Yes, it's lying besides this angle 105. Yes, so this is a linear pair. ART plus BRT is equal to 180 degrees. That's what I've written. And then when this 105 goes there, we get angle ART as 75 degrees. Now, so this is 75 degrees. Now what do I need to find out is angle CTQ. CTQ. Is it IRT and CTQ corresponding angles? Yes, both are equal. Therefore, but when you show any angle to be equal, corresponding, alternate or whatever, we have to show that these two lines are parallel and this is a transversal, and therefore they are the corresponding angles. So we mentioned line AB is parallel to line CD and PQ is a transversal. Therefore angle ART is congruent to angle CTQ, corresponding angles. After writing this, we write down angle ART is equal to angle CTQ, but ART is 75 degrees, therefore CTQ is also 75 degrees. Then the next one is angle DTQ. Now DTQ, isn't this the linear pair? This is a linear pair to this. Yes, and therefore we will say that angle DTQ is a linear pair to this, or else you can say that this BRT is congruent to angle DTQ because they are the corresponding angles. Yes, but again when you show the corresponding angles, you will write down line AB is parallel to line CD and PQ is a transversal, therefore this angle is congruent to this angle because they are the corresponding angles. So DTQ is congruent to BRT, corresponding angles. In the next step, instead of congruency, write down equal to sign, and then DTQ is equal to BRT, but BRT is nothing but 105, so instead of BRT I write down angle BRT is 105 degrees. Now the next one, you have to find out the angle PRB. PRB is a linear pair, yes, for this one. So PRB will be the linear pair. So write down PRB plus BRT is equal to 180 degrees. We substitute the value of BRT as 105. When this 105 goes there, we get answer as 75 degrees. So this is what we get. These are the 4 answers that we get. Thank you.